Welcome to another features and functions guide. Today I'm going to be going over the 2022 Kia EV6. This model is the WIND all-wheel drive with the tech package. I'll give you a look at the key fob here. It has a remote smart parking assist, which are these two buttons here. Auto start right up here, so you have your lock button, unlock, hold for the tailgate, horn and lights. So I'm gonna lock the car, hold this button in for 2 to 3 seconds. This will start the car. They got that there. You see the lights blinking, so you know the car's on. And then I'm gonna hold in this button here up top for the remote smart parking assist. As you can see, the car is moving forward. I'm gonna let go, and that is gonna stop. I'm just gonna hold this downward button, same thing. It's gonna go in reverse. Hear that audible beep anytime the EV6 is in reverse. And that is how the smart parking assist works on the key fob. All right, let's go in. Now, just to go over the tailgate in the back, you have 3 ways to open the tailgate in the back. The first I showed you is on the key fob. Second, there is a button to the left of the steering wheel on the inside, which I'm going to show you once we get in the car. And then the third is right next to the camera in the rear right here. You just press that right here. See that right here, this little strip next to the camera? Now that's how you open the tailgate. Now, something else you can do here with the tailgate is you can adjust this height. You just pull this down a little bit. I'm going to hold in this button. You'll hear a couple of beeps. And then every time you open it, it is going to be adjusted to this height. All right, and we are on the passenger rear side. Now this is where your charging port is going to be located. One way to open it is just to tap it right there on the side. And then there's your charging level here. Now as you're charging it, you're going to see this kind of blink like up and down. This is a way to close it. This is for level 1 or level 2 charging. Level 3 charging, you're going to need to plug that one out. And you've got that there. And then to close it, you can press that, or you can just kind of push it in like that. And then there is a second way to open this as well inside the vehicle. I'll show you that when we get there. Right, I'm going to go over the door handles and how you work these. So over here on the left side, that's how you're able to push this out. And then you can just pop it right open, nice and easy, just like that. I'll do it again. Nice and easy. Power seating for the driver. This button up front, now that's going to move the seat forward and backward. You can lift the seat up or down right there. See that? And then this one in the middle is going to adjust the back. And then this circular one here is for the lumbar support. You can adjust that however you need to there. All right, we're on the driver's side. You got your standard windows, child lock function, lock and unlock car doors, mirrors left and right. You can adjust those side to side, up and down. And you also have a power folding mirror option. This front button up here up top. It'll fold in your mirrors automatically, in and out when you press that button. 2 position memory seating for the driver we can see over here. I like where I'm at position-wise on this seat, so I'm just gonna hold in this one. You hear that little chime, setting 1 saved. Alrighty, over here on the left of the steering wheel, you have a couple features over here. This is the illumination or brightness for this screen right here. I'm pushing it up and down. As you can see towards the bottom, illumination going up. That's for the brightness of the screen in front of you. And then you have your charging port right there. That's one way to open it. And then you have your third tailgate option right there. And then this is your electronic parking brake. And to engage that, you just pull it out. And then to release it, put your foot on the brake, push it in, and you'll hear a little noise. And that's how you know that is working. And then this is traction control right there. You can turn that option off if you'd like. And then down here you have your fuse box, hood right up there. Now let's go over the steering wheel for the driver. On the left side over here, this is where you have your cruise control functions, which is this button up here. This has smart cruise control with stop and go. So right here, this button, that's for your car lengths. You can set car length distance to which the vehicle will stop, up to 3 car lengths. And then as the vehicle's in front of you begin driving again, so will this vehicle. This is how you can set the speed and stop it just by pushing it in. This is your lane keeping assist function. Now, what that does is if you steer over a line or on a line, this will steer you back into the center of the roadway. And then this little page button up top toggles between these items in the center here. And then I'm using that up and down button to scroll between each one. Tire pressure, energy flow, that's your lane following assist, trip info. You got all that stuff right there. Then over on the right side, this is where you have your Bluetooth controls, voice recognition right up there, pick up calls. This is your volume for the radio, changing modes, AM, FM, Sirius radio, up and down. And then these 2 buttons, the star and the mode button. Now what these do is, I'm gonna press this and show you what happens. So this just popped up on the screen, custom steering wheel button with the star. And then just below that as well, you see mode button steering wheel. Now you can set favorites from here. So I press the star, none is obviously selected, and then you can go to any of these options here. So anytime you press this mode button, and same thing with the star, you know, whatever you select here, it's gonna pop up once you press that button on the steering wheel. Now just to explain in front of you what some of these buttons and numbers mean up here, right in front of you. So you have your digital miles per hour there on the left side. On the right side, 208, that's your estimated range currently on the vehicle. 79%, that's your battery percentage. That's how charged the battery is. This level 1 right next to it, now that's your regenerative braking. Now that's something you can adjust only while you're driving with the paddle shifters. So the paddle shifter on the left side right here, that'll turn the regenerative braking up, and then on the right side, that'll turn it down. You can go all the way up to 3 levels of regenerative braking. Higher up in levels you go, the more it's gonna brake for you, and the more the battery will recharge itself from your braking. Eco, that's what drive mode we're in. Now the drive modes, you can switch between using this drive mode button right here. Now what Eco does is Eco mode moderates engine and transmission control with the goal of increasing fuel economy in certain situations. And then what normal does, normal mode provides soft driving and comfortable riding. And then sport, we'll go down to sport. What sport does is sport mode provides a more dynamic driving experience with faster shift times and more sensitive handling. And then you can hold it. That gets you into snow mode, since this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Snow mode provides faster, smoother shift times, shifts at lower RPMs, and it has torque reduction in first, second, and reverse gears. This makes it more sensitive on slippery roads, giving customers greater peace of mind when you're in snow mode, which is nice. And then you can also see on the right side there, we're on 196 miles estimated range, and that's going to change depending on what driving mode you're in. To the right of the driver, you have this little console. This is where your start button is. You have your ventilated, heated seats, heated steering wheel. Got all that good stuff there. Now, one way you can turn this all the way off is not just by pressing it in a couple times, but you can hold it in as well. That'll turn it off. And then this is your shifter. Press the P for park, left, right for reverse and drive. You have your camera button. Now, anytime you're in reverse, yeah, your reverse camera is going to show up, but anytime you're in park or drive, you can press this button, and up on the screen here, you're going to get your reverse camera as well as your surround view camera, which is both on the GT line that comes standard, and then on the WIND, which is this trim level, comes with the technology package. Something else that also comes with the technology package is the remote smart parking assist that I showed you earlier. And then it also has the blind spot cameras for the turn signal. So every time you go left or right on the turn signal, it's going to give you an image of your blind spot, which is awesome. It's a great feature. And then you just turn that off by pressing that. auto hold. What this feature does is anytime you want to take your foot off the brake when you're stopped, it's going to hold you in place. So anytime this function is on, it's going to hold you in place if you take your foot off the brake, you know, when you're stopped. And then this P with the little cone, orange light, that's your rear parking sensor. So anytime you're in reverse, and an object appears behind you, somebody walks by, a car drives by, it's going to let you know that it's not safe and that something is, you know, close behind you. This is your wireless charging pad. You got your cup holders here, and then down low here you got some extra storage space. You have a ton of USB ports, USB-C chargers, 12-volt port for a charger. Now this USB right here, that's for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You need to be plugged in for that. That's also going to charge your phone at the same time. Up here we got our cluster. This is both your climate control buttons as well as your radio settings. So these two buttons right here, that's how you toggle between the two. And as you can see, everything's changing. And this is your power button, also temperature change. You can sync these if you'd like. You can throw the heat on. Now these are your modes right here, legs, defrosters. That's the power of the fans up and down. You can turn on the AC, turn off the AC. You can go driver only. You have defrosters, auto climate, air circulation for the back. And then when I go over here, this is your volume, and then also your power button. This one on the right side is for tuning the station. And then you have some map, navigation, seeking, tracking, radio media setup, all that good stuff right there. You have your hazards. And then we have the beautiful 10.25 inch touchscreen. This is like your home screen. It's nice because it gives you your battery percentage, your estimated range, date, time, all that good stuff. All right, let me go into here. A couple pages, some settings here. I'm gonna go into EV, show you what you can do here. Again, this is just kind of a more in-depth EV setting. You get your battery life. Now this is your estimated range with the heat on. With it off, it also shows you, you can set up charging times. You can search for stations nearby, EV charging stations, just by pressing that button. And these are all close charging stations. You can save favorites. You do a lot of stuff over here in this EV setting. Let's go back. Again, you have your map, navigation menu. This is where you can search points of interest. Also save some favorites down here. Look for Kia dealerships that are nearby. Phone, it has Bluetooth. Phone projection is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can save voice memos for any notes or anything. Again, you can go into some more in-depth climate settings. Valet mode, what that does is, so if you ever hand off your keys to valet, it's going to lock your center console glove compartment, so you can have no worry about anybody taking any of your personal belongings. Quiet mode, that only plays the music up in the two front seats, not in the back. HD radio data, not only can the radio play in high definition, but you can also check traffic, Doppler radar. Again, you got your radio there. Setup goes a little bit more in depth for some EV settings. Navigation, you can adjust the sound. You can change the screen theme, layout, display. You can change the keyboard, have user profiles. I'm gonna go into vehicle. Now this is a good option here. You can change a lot of things over here. Lights, door, seats, convenience, active sound design. So since obviously this is an electric vehicle, it uses kind of a custom sound, and you can kind of change that from this setting here in advanced settings of vehicle. Stylish, dynamic, cyber. Gives it just like an automated sound. And then driver assistance. This is where you can adjust your safety features. If you want to adjust any of them, you know, if there's something that you don't like the lane, you know, following assist, when it steers you back if you're on a line, it gives you the audible warning. You can change all that stuff here just by clicking in, and that's going to turn it off. Go to forward safety. It's on the active assist. You can go to just the warning if you'd like, or you can turn it all the way off. And you can do this again with all of your safety features. Something to keep in mind too, so if you go to door, now this has a smart power tailgate. So what that does is it opens the liftgate automatically when you approach the tailgate with the smart key. That's something that always has to be turned on. Now, when we take delivery of these vehicles, when we first get them, that's something that's never turned on. So just keep that in mind. That's something you might have to turn on. And then I'll go into general. This is where you're gonna have system updates. You can change the date and time. You can change the language. You can change it to a different keyboard setup. So you got some options that you can, mess around with some things, depending, you can adjust it to your liking, which is awesome. All right. And that is the touchscreen. I also want to show you 2 ways you can put the seats down in the back. So on each side, you're gonna have these for the second row. Hold that in, and that's gonna bring that left side down. Now the second way, let me show you up here. With this little lever right here, I'm gonna hold that, and boom, you're good to go. Now, being that this is an electric vehicle, clearly you do not have a motor, but you have all your fluids as you typically would, and then you have a little frunk up here maybe for some cables or anything like that you can put right in there.